Hi, today I would like to present you the Töörö. The Töörö is a 6 voices 4-part polysynth. It has digital oscillators, analog low-pass filters with plenty of character, some digital shapers, 2 AHDSR envelopes, and 2 complex LFOs with delay and fall control. The instrument has a stereo signal path, and on top of it, you have a digital global multi-effects. Now I would like to focus on the front panel. You will find different sections. Here in the center stand the parameter matrix. It includes all the parameters defining your sound. On the right side you will find the store section with which you can load and save your presets and multi. Immediately below you will find the simple modulation matrix, more on this later. And finally there are the 4 endless encoders that allow you to tweak all the parameters. How to access the sound parameters? You can simply select which line you want to edit using these switches. For example, I want to edit the oscillators, I press the oscillator switch and now I can edit them. You can notice that there are parameters in black on top. These are the principal parameters. The others at the bottom are in white. They are the secondary parameters. These are accessed using the Alt function here and then rotating the corresponding encoders. Let's now focus on the oscillator section. At the top in green you will find the oscillator section. The Töörö has 2 identical oscillators and you can select which one is being edited with the oscillator switch. The LED color will reflect which oscillator is being edited, and if you cannot distinguish colors, it's also impossible on this video. The 7-segment display will always give you a hint on what is being selected. The oscillators have 8 parameters divided in 4 groups. The first groups define the timbre of the oscillator. Oscillators are playing wavetables. There are 2 parameters, wave and table. Wave sets which wave is being played and table selects one of the internal wavetables. The second group is the tuning group. You can here adjust the oscillator pitch relative to the note. Coarse sets semitones and fine cents. The third section is the FM function with the rate of the virtual operator and the amount of modulation. In the last group, you will have the OSC volume control and the auto-sync feature before the sound goes to the shaper and the analog filter. Let's have a listen to the oscillator raw tone. Here below I have a MIDI master keyboard and I can send some notes. So let's send a note. You can adjust here the tuning. And you can adjust the wave. This is the first wavetable and it contains the basic waveform, which are saw, square, triangle and sinus. Now let's combine 2 oscillators together. We can slightly detune the oscillators to give a chorus effect. Let's use the secondary fine parameter. What you heard is the raw tone of the saw oscillator. Now what we can do is explore the sound of the different wavetables. For this we will use only one oscillator. That's the reason I deactivate the second oscillator. And we will use a LFO to modulate the wave between the wavetable. So let's set the center. And let's modulate this parameter using the first LFO. For this you have to go into the modulation matrix, select LFO1 as the source and then decide to modulate the wave parameter using the encoder. We set the modulation rate to be the maximum, and now we can adjust the LFO speed. Let's explore the different available tables. So the table is a secondary parameter, so we have to select Alt and then browse the different table. So we have seen the table number 1, we go for table number 2. Let's have a listen to the other tables. Let's listen again with a different range of octave. And now with chords. Let's add a sub-oscillator. Now let's add a sub-oscillator. And let's also modulate the wave parameter, but this time using the LFO2. So I go in my modulation matrix, select the LFO2 as a source, and then target the wave parameter of the oscillator 2. Now I will center the wave parameter for the modulation to take its full effect. Change the speed of the LFO2. That's some example of sound you can get using the raw oscillators. Now let's try to use the FM section. For this, I will deactivate all the modulation by using the exit key and the source LFO1 and LFO2. And I will disable the second oscillator. Let's select a table which is simple and a waveform which doesn't contain much harmonics. Now we can adjust the modulation amount and the rate. There's one feature of the oscillators we haven't covered is the sync function. For this, let's use a basic oscillator without FM modulation. Now we can configure the sync function. As you may see, this is very aggressive without using the filter. Let's select random note. And put some modulation again. That's it for the oscillator section.